What's up? This is Cream, and you're checking out the third episode of Get Down With It. Today, I'm with my boy DJ Dani, representing Certified Fresh DJs. We talk a lot about the differences between corporate life and nightlife and how you can take your business to the next level. Here with the man DJ Dani, representing Tampa, St. Pete. What's up, man?
Chilling. Oh, forgot to use the mic. Chilling, man. Here in the city, and obviously in the colder weather. Left the house and it was 78, 80 degrees. Summer was feeling like it's already there, but I love the change of scenery and the weather. To me, it's kind of refreshing in a way. So,
and you come up here a good amount too. So you got the winter gear ready to go.
I forgot my scarf. It was a little bit chilly walking here with the wind and stuff this morning, but the scarf and gloves definitely was a must, at least for Floridian. You know what I mean? Because obviously it's not as cold for you guys.
This is light right now.
Yeah, pretty light, but yeah, man.
So I wanna start this out the way I kind of start everything. Just kind of. Who are you? What do you do? How did you get started in the DJ game? And we can kind of take it from there.
Yeah, so started back in like 04, 05. Kind of just, I graduated high school in 04. I was kind of like messing around with turntables and stuff like that and going out to, obviously, to the nightclubs and trying to get into the scene because I really enjoyed it, and that was more as a patron, as a going out, just partying type person. And then I got good friends with became good friends with a DJ who just really caught on to me, and I enjoyed what he was doing, entertaining, and being the party. And I'm like, man, this is an awesome feeling, just imagine what you're feeling listening to the music, imagine what you get from playing it and the people listening to you. So I just bought some cheap equipment, and started, just practicing at home, and he would come over and give me little hints here and there, and I just, first opportunity came to open for him, and I took it, and just from there, just started rolling around. And I actually took a break for about 2 years. Once I started, I went back to college.
Okay.
Money wasn't good, I wasn't really making good money. So I went back to college, and I was in college for about a year, local, community college, and I'm like, I can't do this. This is not for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not hating on college, but it's not for everybody.
No.
And not going to college doesn't mean you're going to not be successful in life. It's all about the hustle and the grind and that mentality that you have that gets you to where you want to be.
Especially
and what the goals
if there's something that is pulling you away from there that you want to pursue.
Exactly. Obviously, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, school and becoming, getting a degree and stuff like that is what you would do.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't do it. And I remember my first semester in school, and then the second semester I think it was like an English comp class, and I walk in, and the professor comes in and he goes, "Welcome to the first day of class. We're going to get right to work. I want you to write me a 5-page essay on what truth means to you."
Like day one?
Day one. So he's like, "When you're done, leave it on my desk and walk out." And everybody's just sitting there like mind blown, trying to write down stuff. And I'm like, I look at the class and I'm like, I can't do this. I'm done. I literally got up, walked out.
Really? That was your breaking point?
Done with school. That was the last time I ever was in school, that class.
That's crazy.
So from there, I just started I got into hospitality. I was working in, restaurants, serving, and then became a bartender. Did a lot of, local spots downtown. And then started getting back slowly into DJing. At the time, production, producing was getting pretty big as far as like the bootlegs and remixing and the Crooklyn Clan and Crack for DJs and all those sites. And one of my buddies, Kev, which is actually he's part of the Certified Fresh DJ crew now. started blowing up. And me and him were like playing at a club together. When I stopped DJing, he kept on going. He got into the production stuff. And next thing you know, like within a year, he was flying to, Vegas and Cali. And
doing edits or doing originals?
Doing edits and bootlegs.
Yeah.
Not originals, because back
then those guys,
it was huge. Like those
look
guys
at
were
Beatbreaker too.
Unbelievable. Those guys were like, Seraphim. Seraphim's another one. He blew up because of the bootlegs and remixes and mashups.
Those guys made a lot of money along the way too.
Man, and that made me feel like, okay, I need to get back, at least not into the production side. I did do a little production, but I got so hard into the DJing side of it that really to become it's hard. It's either you're a DJ and then you become a producer, or you're a producer and you become a DJ to show your music.
Yeah.
To juggle the two, it's pretty hard, because you have to really put your mind to production if you're going to learn it and do it the right way, and especially if you're doing original stuff.
It's perfecting your craft. It's hard to perfect your craft when you're spending time on two different things.
If you're working 6 nights, 7 nights a week DJing, here and there, and you got day gigs and this and that, you have no time to do that stuff.
Yeah.
So I focused on the DJ side of it, and got residencies and all the local, hot spots, and that all came through networking, showing up and showing support and waiting for that one opportunity where you got a chance to show your stuff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of young kids now, they get into it and they expect to just jump into a residency or a plane, and that's not the way it works.
No.
You have to become,
or headlining also.
Yeah, headlining is another thing. We have about 12 guys on our crew, and it ranges from up here to down here, and newer guys that we give opportunities to and stuff like that. And they'll get a taste of that, that lifestyle, and they're like, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, look, man, I've been doing this for 8-10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not an overnight thing. But anyways, like that's how, as far as I came about, I started in Ybor City. I was DJing reggae.
Downtown Tampa.
No, yeah. So Ybor is, it's not downtown Tampa. It's right outside downtown Tampa.
Yeah,
we
took a drive through.
Yeah, it's a historic area that's well known, and they have a strip. I think 7th Ave. It's all clubs, and I was doing reggaeton. I was just strictly doing reggaeton back then. It was hot. I'm Latin, that's what I would play. So that turned into
like Don Omar type.
Don Omar, Daddy Yankee, Nicky Jam, Lito Polacco, all the OG reggaeton artists. And it's funny because now, the Afro beats and Moomba tone and all that's kind of making a comeback. Where you have
Latin stuff is popular music right now.
Really, and that's how music is. It revolves. It always comes back around. You know what I mean? The EDM fades off for a little bit, and then hip hop comes back up, and then hip hop dies down, and you'll get
there's waves.
It's the way it is. Music's always been like that. So I just rode with it, man, and I was doing things for myself by myself for a long time, and I like to always say this: you can't be content with what you're doing, because you become stale.
Yep.
And once you become stale,
you fade into darkness, right?
You either fade or you're stuck. And stuck is not a good spot to be. So I'm like, what could I do now besides making these, the money at these just resident spots? And, I I knew DJ Fresh for a while. He had the Certified Fresh DJ group. And he was running some of the hot spots in St. Pete, which St. Pete is totally transformed from what it was 5-6 years ago to now. I mean, back then you had 2 spots. You had Push Ultra Lounge. You had a spot called Vintage that closed. All those spots are closed. And then there was Bishop Tavern, which was like poppin' spot, like college night, blah, 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 all that. Those were your spots. There was nothing else going on. Push closed, Vintage closed, Bishop stayed a little bit longer. Bishop's actually now where 260 First is, which Indiana Jones plays there, one of our other guys. And, I was just like, man, he's doing it. He's got a great group. I can see him doing these big events and stuff like that and starting getting his foot in things. So it came about where he gave me the opportunity to work with him, and do a couple gigs here and there, and next thing you know, that turned into, you know, yo man, you free this day, or you good this day, and you know, 100% I could do it, you know, whatever it is, I'm here. And that grind, you know, that mentality showed to him that I was ready to be a part of what he had, his whole mindset was,
right,
which was to do these bigger corporate events and these big parties and kind of take over the main, you know, whenever there's a festival in town or something, and get involved with it, you know. And I was like, man, this is great, you know what I mean? I got the opportunity to DJ for the Tampa Bay Rays, you know, show up at Tropicana Field, you know, 16, 20,000 people and play. And I'm like, oh man, this is nice. Yeah. You know, and now I've been with the Rays for this is going to be my 5th season coming up. That was 5 years ago, and time flew. I'm like, oh my God, you know? So that's kind of how I got into the whole other side of the DJing, you know, and I still do the nightclubs, I still do the bars, you know, obviously. Heavy. You have to. Yeah. That's to keep relevant and just to keep busy. But the corporate side, man, it's a whole nother level, and it's great, you know.
We'll get into that definitely, but I want to kind of hit on a few things you talked about. So the first thing is the DJ who you kind of follow around at first and kind of made you think you might want to be a part of being a DJ or being in nightlife. Right. Do you still talk to that person? Do you consider that person a mentor?
Yeah. So
at the time, was he a mentor for you?
There was a few of them. One of the guy I was talking to actually passed away a couple years ago. He was an older cat, you know, been around for a while, and like I said, it was the Latin side of it because I was strictly a reggaeton or DJ back then. You know, I was doing some of the hip hop stuff and the hip hop rooms, but I was getting booked for the reggaeton because that was huge back then. And it died down after a few years. And that was perfect because that's when I went back to college and that whole 2 years break happened and I came back, and then all of a sudden now it's like, you know, house music and top 40s is like.
Right, but you had to adapt to what was popular,
right,
and like
exactly.
It's the same thing today. If you don't adapt to what, you know, the crowd wants or what the customers want.
And there's always mentors. You're always you need a mentor. You need somebody that you're like looking up to, and you need somebody that you could say, oh man, this guy's doing it. I need to learn how to do what he's doing, or at least try to, you know what I mean?
And I think nothing else, like I have a few mentors that I still talk to when I'm in a spot when I'm like, dude, like, what do I do?
Exactly.
Whether it's business side or whether it's, you know, dealing with another DJ or whatever the case may be, they have more years on me, you know? So, like, I love running things by them, and I think that's really important. And at the same time, for my guys, and I know for your guys as well, like, it's going both ways where you're mentoring the younger guys and trying to help them.
Right.
So you're, you know, it's helping the next generation and kind of paying back what you kind of went through.
And I always say, like, mentor doesn't have to necessarily be a DJ. You know, mentor could be, you know, your mother, your dad, or somebody that just gives you good advice. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you're an entertainer, but you're also in the hospitality business. So, like, it gets frustrating. It gets hard. You know, you have to deal with, you know, requests, and you have to deal with, you know, people coming up, drunk people at that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Management, owners.
I think that stuff is the hardest stuff.
It is.
As a younger DJ and someone who doesn't know the business as well, is dealing with a manager and owner, and also dealing with a crowd that's in front of you at the same time. It can get overwhelming.
Very frustrating. You know, we all have our moments where we're, you know, DJing in a packed club, and the owner comes up and he doesn't like a song, or a patron comes up, somebody, you know, it's my birthday, you need to play a song, and you gotta remember you're the entertainer, so you have to deal with it in a certain way.
There's a big spender, and it's like you have to play the song next.
But that all comes with experience, you know, and not everybody deals with it in a certain way, but in a way you have to always remember, you know, you can't be like, F you know what I mean? Like,
or you're not. I mean,
you could kind of, but there's a way of doing it, you know, and that's how I always see that, you know, like some of these, I know some young DJs that literally have been DJing in a club for less than a few months and get that breaking moment where, you know, they're DJing and they have a whole bunch of people there, and you know, whether the manager's yelling at them or somebody there partying's yelling at them, and they're just like, fucking, I'm out, you know, throw their shit on the floor and they're out, you know what I mean? But
have you ever done that at a gig? I was really close one time.
I've done it a couple times, but it wasn't me just leaving. It was so there was a party that this guy started, wanted me to be a part of DJ wise. It was a new night. It was a Thursday night. Oh, he's running the spot. They just changed names. Blah blah blah. Yeah, man, I want you to DJ. I actually was doing it with Indiana Jones, so it was me and him DJing, and we brought about like 30 something people out to this opening day, and there was no one else there. It was just us.
Just your crew.
Just my crew, the people that came to see us, and that was it. And he got real frustrated because he said the music that we were playing was the reason why there wasn't anybody there. And I said, that was the point where I just, you know what, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're kind of disrespecting me at this point because
Yeah.
the only people there were the people that we brought. Right. You know what I mean? So I literally shut the music off because he tells me this. Actually, no. Indiana Jones was DJing. We were taking turns. So he came up to me and was like, yo, man, this music's trash. This is the reason why there's no one here. You need to switch it up. And I was like, are you being serious right now? I said, hold on one second. I walk up, Spinny's playing. I shut the music off. I grabbed the microphone. I said, I want to know who came to see Indiana Jones and DJ Dani right now. And everybody put their hands up. And I said, is the music the reason why this place is dead? No, you guys came to see us. And I said, you're wrong. I'm taking all my people. We all left. We all left. He's like, I'm not paying you now. I don't want your money. You know what I mean? At that point, it was just a little disrespectful. I might have took it overboard a little bit. But, you know, it's at this point, I've been doing it for a little bit. So it's kind of disrespectful, the fact that you're telling me the music, the reason why you booked me is not good. And that's why there's no one there. No, your promotion sucked. That's why there's no one there. So we went to my buddy's party 2 blocks away. And we showed up with 20-some people, 30 people. And he was like, what happened? Oh, no, it's a long story, blah, blah. Had a great time, showed him support.
Yeah.
And that's the way it went, you know? So I'm not saying do that, but things happen. You know, things happen. And it's about how you deal with it. That place literally closed 2 weeks after that. You know what I mean? So
I wonder why.
But this is another example. That showed me to be careful and to choose what you do wisely.
And who you work with, right?
It's okay to turn down a gig. It's okay to turn down a party. It's okay to turn down a night. You have to be okay with it. If you're okay with it and you think it's gonna grow and you can help it grow, then be a part of it. Okay?
Yeah,
money could be a big persuasion to do things. But if the money's not right and the party's not right for you, don't do it.
Yeah, because you could take a big payday one time, but maybe you take a little less and you build a party that lasts for 3 years and turns into like the best party in the area.
Exactly. Because the thing is, longevity, you know, like the parties that last, or the night that you have, like at Tally Ho or me at CJ's, which is a Monday night. I've been there now for 4 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that shows. And that's what matters.
And it's not because it's not just you. It's a team of people that all are on the same page and get what the vibe of the party is. And the bartenders promote it, and the managers are all about it. And if you want to do something cool that brings more value or brings like other people into the mix, they're cool with you doing what you do.
Right.
And that's awesome. Like, I love that.
That's what you want, you know. And like I said, opportunity is a big one. You're gonna get an opportunity for the younger guys to go in and show what you got. But you know, I've had DJs where, you know, they're trying to come out and prove, you know, oh, I'm the shit. Meaning it's 9:30 at night and you're getting an opportunity to open.
Yeah.
But you're playing headbanging, you know, electro house music at 9:30 when there's 2 people in the club and they just open the doors. You know what I mean? To me, that immediately is like a red flag. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know? Whereas if that DJ would have came in and was playing, like, you know, whether it be a house night or a hip hop night, you know, playing some cool throwback music or playing some, you know, really chill house music to get the vibe where it needs to be, is more respectful for me. To me, that's huge.
I used to just not say a word, like, let them do their thing. If they're burning the shit out of me, like, let it happen. I've kind of got to the point where a lot of times it's my guys who are working, and if like they're burning me, I'll tell them, be like, yo, you probably shouldn't have played that. Or either before, while it's happening, or afterwards.
Right.
But I feel like being a mentor, so to speak, like it's kind of my place to tell them that they're doing something wrong that's hurting the overall night.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a dick about it.
Right.
You just kind of be like, hey, listen, like maybe next time try to go this route, or don't do this, or don't play this particular thing.
And as far as like somebody that's either headlining the top spot or you know is the resident of the club and you have openers, to me, I don't ever take it as they're burning me. They're just doing it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you're
because
going to reset the room no matter what.
Exactly. We're there because we're doing what we do and we're getting paid to do what we do, and the vibe is always going to be what we created. And that's, to be honest, like, I don't even get openers anymore. I like doing it myself.
I kind of do too.
I love opening. And this is nothing against the younger cats or you know, somebody that you're trying to give an opportunity to. It's just a matter of, it's your night, you've been there forever, and you like creating your own vibe. You know what I mean? That opening, that first hour or two,
it's the time where you can play kind of, you can
amazing.
go any lane.
I love it. To me, it's better than when it's like hands up in the air, you know? And they're different vibes, but that's the feeling that I like to try to tell, you know, like some of our younger guys that are coming up. That's the feeling you need to get.
Yeah.
Because once you get that opening good feeling of, man, there's 20 people in here, but they're all vibing and they're having a good time.
And I'm playing stuff that came out 10 years ago.
Once you could do that, you could play the hits, and that's like easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The hard part's opening. That's the hardest part. So that's a big pet peeve. You know, I got some younger guys that I tell them, I'm like, look, man, be excited about opening. Don't be discouraged by it. Because if you could open the room right, everything else
you could do anything. You can play the hits. Like
you know what I mean?
You also, as an opener, when you watch a headliner come on, you kind of get an idea of like, all right, this is how he started, or these are some of the records that he plays in a row, and like you could kind of take ideas from that. But I want to pivot real quick, to kind of go back to the story and talk about Certified Fresh a little bit. So you know, you were DJing and building your own brand down in Tampa, St. Pete area. You meet Fresh, and you kind of start working with him. So like, how did your mindset change when you were working just for yourself to now working with a team?
It changed dramatically. Obviously, we all have our own brands. You know, just because you're a part of a DJ group or, you know, whether you have certain DJ friends, everybody has their own brand, and they should. Absolutely. You should have your own brand. I should have my own brand. Tex Flex should have his own brand. You know, whoever it be needs to have their own brand. The whole thing about the DJ group is the camaraderie and just being able to work together and grow. Yeah. Grow your brand and grow everybody's brand. And that's one thing we always say, you know, continue doing your own gigs. Continue grinding. Yeah. The DJ group is just a way of expanding that and helping you.
I think they go hand in hand, because really as individual brands grow, the group brand grows.
It does.
And as the group brand grows, individual brands also grow. Exactly. So they feed into each other.
You know, and obviously meeting you and seeing what you do over here and what we're doing in Florida, it's so similar and it's great. And there needs to be more of that. And the fact is, we're not like trying to, it's not like I can't go play with somebody that's not part of my group. You know, it's not like, oh no, they're not part of my group, I can't play with them. Yeah, that's not the way it is. You know what I mean? It's the fact that we're trying to keep growing and we're trying to expand our brand as individuals and our brand as the group. Yeah, every day, and that's only about growth. Growth is what you need. Like I said, you can't be stale. You can't be content, because once you do, what's going to happen? You have
to level up no matter what, right?
In this industry, once you burn a bridge or once you leave a bar or a club, the chances of you going back there are very, very slim. Yeah. And in your city, there's only a handful of places where you're going to be able to work. Okay? And most likely, all those places are locked down for a very long time. Yeah. So once you get it, you have to just grasp it. You know what I mean? And being part of a group where, you know, let's say I can't make it one night, or I'm out of town, where I have the confidence of bringing in one of the guys to handle it.
You know that CJ's is good on a Monday. It's
100%. You know what I mean? And that's huge. Yeah. And it's open doors. Like, we want to keep growing. We want to keep, you know, bringing in DJs that have the mentality that we do.
What are some of the things that are really important to you guys as far as when you bring on new people?
one of the things, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things, but you know, obviously that being trustful and being reliable is huge. You know, unfortunately, you know, you can't call off, or you can't last minute be like, oh, I can't make it. Like, things like that are huge. Like, when you get an opportunity, you need to take it. And sometimes we get these guys that are not part of the group, we give them the opportunity, and they decide to burn that bridge, or not show up, or ruin the night, or showing up late.
Yeah.
You know,
the worst.
It's not good. It's not a good look. Our brand is a brand because we've made it to where it's reliable, and these owners and these venues and these parties know that.
Yeah.
You know, so when you're you know, you got to start at 8:00 and you're showing up at 8:05 and the music's not on, how's that make you look? No, how's that make the group look? So that's huge.
I agree. We always preach that. Like, you're representing yourself, but you're representing the overall, our brand as well. And that's what you have to think about that as someone who's starting.
And obviously, you know, being professional, you know, obviously we have fun doing what we do. You know, we drink, we have a good time, you know, we're entertainers.
Yeah.
And Seraphin always tells me, he's like, you know, we're entertainers. You gotta let loose. You gotta be able to have fun.
Yeah, I'm sure Seraphin said
that. And that's great. and that's 100% right. But being sloppy is not professional.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? If you're shit-faced drunk and in the DJ booth, and there's 500-600 people in the place trying to spend money, and you're looking sloppy, how does that make you look? How does that make the group look?
Yeah, agreed.
That's a no. That just can't happen.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And if you want to be that DJ who is only looking to gain points, or, you know, have a good time and party and not be professional, then do it on your own. And that's a big one.
Yeah.
Because I'm there to make the club money. You know, I'm there for everybody to have a good time. I'm there for the bar to be banging, you know. And this is another thing. I always this is one of the things I always say. And I say this to DJs, I say this to even places that I work at. It's okay to let the dance floor loose a little bit. As far as, like, you got to pop in, everybody's dancing, you know, it's packed down, you know, bring it down a little bit. Let them go to the bar.
Yeah.
Let them go spend money, and then bring them back. It's almost like fishing, you know what I mean? You put a lure on, you cast it out, you got this big fish on, you're fighting it for about 30 minutes, and then it just lets go. And then you retry it and you bring them back in. You know what I mean?
Not everybody thinks that way about people spending money and, like, pulling back on energy for a little bit.
That's huge, and that's going to give you the opportunity to say, look, you know, look at the numbers, look what's going on. You know, I deserve a little bump in the pay or something.
Right.
And you know, that's another thing.
If the bar's making more money, then maybe you should make a little extra too, as well, right?
But I like seeing that, you know, and the way to bring them back is, to me, is kind of like an art. You know what I mean? Because I do it. I do waves, up and down. And the bartenders tell me, they're like, oh man, you're so good at doing that.
Yeah.
I like doing that because, like I said, if the bar's making money, I don't want everybody on the dance floor and the bar to be empty, because then what it is a big party, no one's spending money, and it's for what? But if you could be able to just bring them back and bring them in, that's huge. I always
I think that definitely comes with time and with practice and with experience.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I love that.
But as far as, like, the younger guys just coming up, you know, just to know that it's not about playing 2 hours of straight, you know, bangers or you know,
it's
top
not
40
like festival
music,
life or like,
you know,
you're
Cardi
not
B
stadium life
and Post Malone all night. Like, mix it up a little bit, you know, give them a chance to go take a break, because that's where the money's happening. That's how I see it.
No, I agree. So I met you and Fresh and the rest of the crew in Miami, I don't know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Yeah, it's about, it's got to be
3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah, 3. Seems longer, but.
What I think you guys do a really, really good job of is not only network in your area, but networking outside of your general area and your region. So is that like a strategy that you guys have, or is that something that just happens?
It's a strategy, but it's also something that everybody should be doing. Everybody.
Yeah.
If you're not networking, you're not growing. You know what I mean? And you can't do it by yourself.
No.
You know, you can't be a solo team. You know, whether you're the president or the secretary, you can't do it by yourself. You have to have a team. So I always say, like, to be able to go out, like we're doing Austin South by Southwest this year instead of Music Week.
Right.
We've done Music Week now for 4 years, you know, and it's always great. I love going down from Miami for Music Week, but to be able to switch up the scenery, to meet
vibe.
new DJs, to meet new people, is only growing opportunity for you. You know, I'm not a producer, so for me to be able to come DJ in New York or New Jersey, I have to network. I have to know people. I have to be able to get that opportunity almost as if I'm in my hometown trying to get a residency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I prove that I could rock the room, and then they're going to want me back. You know what I mean? You have to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even if you are a producer, you still have to go out and network. You still have to, you know, be on social media and promoting yourself and doing all that, because nowadays especially, back then it was a lot different. You know, social media now is like, if you don't got 20,000 followers on Instagram,
it's not an option anymore. It's just,
you know, it's hard.
You have to do it, or
you know,
else
there's
you're
venues
out.
that won't even like look at you if you don't have, you know, you're not an influencer or whatever. It's crazy, but you know, to me, being able to go to a different city and rock, and just where the bartenders are saying, "Oh, you killed it," or you know, the security guards come up to you, "Man, that was awesome."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different vibe that you bring. It's great. And if you could do that, you're always going to have a chance to come back, even when you come to Tampa. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The owner, Steven, hit me up yesterday. He's like, "Yo, you're going to be with Cream tomorrow, man. Let's book a date." You know, he rocks it every time he comes. That's huge.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So networking and going to these, you know, like DJ Expo or NAMM or Miami Music Week or South by Southwest, to me, it's huge. You know, I got my boy Tex with me. You know, he started 3 years ago DJing. I met him at Shepherd's. I was a resident at Shepherd's. They put an ad out for an intern to kind of show the way. And he was already DJing, but he was DJing on a controller. I remember the first time I saw him, he had sync on, and he was only DJing on sync. I'm like, bro, if you want to DJ, this
like,
is not
nah.
the way. This is not the way you're gonna DJ. And he was very humble.
Yeah.
Humble is another trait, you know. And I was like, man, you're gonna be able to DJ on turntables, CDJs, controller, whatever you want, but sync, you're burning that, because that's not. I mean, I'm not against it, but you want to be able to learn the right way. So I kind of just, you know, got him under my belt, and it became to a point where within a year, you know, I had the confidence to be able to let him take over a night for me, or, you know, be able to play this or do that. You know, those opportunities. And now he's here in New York and New Jersey for the first time.
Shout out to Tex.
Shout out to Tex. For the first time, and he's playing with me at Tally Ho Saturday.
Yep.
For the first time, and that's an opportunity. You know, and I always tell friends and DJ buddies or somebody that's trying to grow or somebody that's been around in the game for a long time. There's a lot of DJs that get comfortable and are content, and they're good. But then the venue they're at, that they're playing 3 nights a week, ends up letting them go or closes, and then they're in a scramble.
Yep.
And they're like, "What am I going to do now? You should have been thought about that a long time ago. You can't have all your eggs in one basket, you know?" So it's always good to network. It's always good to go out, and especially like play, you know, Miami Music Week or South by Southwest, where you have a bunch of DJs from all over the world, really. I mean, I've met DJs.
You never know who you can meet,
I met
right?
DJ from Lido Boten from Germany, good friend. I could go over there and play anytime. You know, my buddy, just tons of DJs from all over, and you make connections, you know?
I think what's great about the connections too is like, so I meet you,
right,
and then you have your own network of people, and I meet 10 guys that you know.
Exactly.
And then maybe we create a relationship out of our relationship.
Exactly.
And like you just need to set yourself up for success, and that's one of those things where you never know who you're going to meet, and you know, you never know where that interaction can take you. Like,
and
you just have
taking
no idea.
that and going into, I know one of the questions that we were going to talk about is, you know, the Super Bowl and you know, baseball All Star Game and all that. Those are all connections.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, so we're talking a lot about how important networking is and leveling up through networking. So what I think is super cool about you guys and your crew, so you DJ'd the Super Bowl, you're the DJs for the Tampa Bay Rays. What else am I missing? What other
So,
big sports teams?
The All Star Games. We just picked up. We're doing the Ironman rock and roll marathons.
Yeah. So like, how do you get? Pretty
So,
much any
yeah.
DJ wants to be able to do this stuff. So how
Exactly.
did you guys
and you know,
do this?
the corporate DJing isn't for everybody, and as far as DJs go, and this is how I always see it. You have to know what kind of DJ you want to be. You want to be the Marshmello DJ? We'll get into producing.
Yeah.
Solely, that should be your goal, is to produce and to be known as a producer, and then your DJing comes after that. You want to be just a nightclub DJ. Some guys are just content with just doing nightclub. They don't want to do weddings. They don't want to do corporate gigs or gigs for MasterCard or Visa or stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's cool, but just know that's your route. You know what I mean? Or you get the guys that want to do everything they can. They just want to be in every little piece that they can, because when you do that, opportunities come like crazy.
Yeah.
And a lot of our DJs and our crew, we do word of mouth. We don't really promote as well as we should be, because we get so much word of mouth coming back. Like, we'll do a gig and that will turn into 3 gigs, that will turn into meeting somebody that's key in this part and blah, blah. So as far as like the big sporting gigs that we've done, obviously I got to give a lot of credit to DJ Fresh, and he's like the president of the crew, and being a DJ for 10 years for the Tampa Bay Rays, he's built relationships with the key people to get us into where we need to be.
He's really good at that.
And he's amazing.
He's really good at that.
And he's taught me so much as far as like that aspect goes. The aspect of knowing how to meet those key people in the room. It's unbelievable, man. We'll walk into a room and he's like a hawk. He's scoping out the key people that he needs to meet, that need to know him, because that's all he's there for.
Yeah.
Besides having a good time and enjoying himself.
I thought I was good at working a room. Like, he makes me look like I don't know what I'm doing.
Dude,
at all.
I've been anywhere from, and when we went to Minneapolis, I'm sitting there and he's like, dude, that's the owner of Live, or that's the owner of this, and literally he'll go up and just make conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm DJ Fresh. I'm with the Tampa Bay Rays, but that's huge.
Yeah.
Being known is one key thing, but taking opportunities that come upon you, or even if you bring them on you, is huge. Obviously DJing for the Rays, he's been there for well over 10 years. I started about 4 years ago. This is now my 5th season with them. That turned into us doing the baseball All-Star Game. He did the first one in San Diego by himself, 14-hour days. You know what I mean? Because it's the whole week before the big event is where they do this big expo.
Yep.
And we DJ that whole week up to the event.
They do like Fan Fest, and they do a lot of media stuff.
So, he went up there, he took the hit, he wanted to show what he could bring. They never did anything like that. And they were like, oh my God, this is great. This is energy, like people are shopping and having a good time, and there's music playing, and we're hosting, we're on the mic, we're making announcements.
Yep.
They have baseball players or football players come for signings. We're up there, I'll be like, whatever. I'll ask Dan Marino what's his favorite songs, and I'm sitting there playing the favorite songs. That's huge. So, and they love that.
Yeah.
So that turned into doing that. Next year he brings me for the first time to Miami with him, and we do All-Star Game week in Miami. And this was 2017. And we met the key guy that does what the baseball and the MLB was doing with us, but he is the one that was doing it for the Super Bowl in the NFL shop. We were working for Fanatics. Okay. The guy that we met that was there while we were playing in the shop was the guy that was the man to know for the football side of it. And, we introduced ourselves, and he's like, man, this vibe is great. We had a dope ass DJ booth, and You know, he's looking at the people shopping and bumping their heads and just enjoying themselves. And, you know, we're exhausted. We've been DJing for 12 hours, you know, for the 5th day in a row.
They're thinking about fan experience for every aspect of the entire time.
Because that's how they're making money. Those fans are there to enjoy themselves, spend money for these big sporting events. So that turned into, now we know who we need to go to go do for Super Bowl. And that turned into us working. It was in Minneapolis, 2018, for the Super Bowl for Fanatics. We did the whole NFL experience week up to the Super Bowl. Now that turned into this year in Miami. We did Atlanta, and then this year in Miami, being able to DJ inside the stadium, inside the NFL shop, inside the stadium. So now we have credentials to be. This was my first Super Bowl this year. And that's huge. Yeah. Because not it's insane. Like, not everybody getting it. Probably unless you got deep pockets or you know somebody
in the country,
it's
right?
Not happening, every year. You know? So that opportunity turned into obviously doing other things. I did, you know, we do every year the Supercross Motorsport Supercross Championship at Daytona Speedway, International Speedway, which is one of the biggest. It is the biggest speedway for racing
and most
in the world,
right?
You know, and it's literally the week after the Daytona 500. So that's actually coming up. I think next week, Fresh will be there. I did last year, and it's unbelievable. You're talking about 150,000 people in the grandstands just going crazy. It's insane.
Yeah.
And then obviously we just picked up the Rock and Roll Marathon Ironman triathlons. I was in San Antonio in December, like first week in December, 18,000 people in the streets of San Antonio, like racing. And this is the first time they've ever had a DJ. And it took an hour to get everybody through, and I'm just playing straight energy music. I'm on the microphone. You guys ready, Carol? You know, Corral 1, you ready? Blah, let's go. Blah. And this is at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, I had to be there at 4 a.m. I'm like, I'm usually getting done at this time. So it was crazy. But opportunity and networking, it goes back to that.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so in order to, if you want to do the corporate stuff, you have to meet the key people.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. So it's fine if you're selling something, right? Instead of selling a product and working for a corporation, you're selling yourself and you're selling certified fresh DJs, right? So the most important thing is to find out who's the person that I need to talk to sell my brand.
Exactly.
And not everybody can do that, but it's really, really important because you can pitch yourself or your idea or whatever to someone and they can think it's a great idea, but they can't make a decision.
Yeah.
So I think, like, if you think that way, if you're going to a new venue, if you're going to anything where you're trying to sell yourself, think about, is this person going to be able to help me?
And you're saying the key word, selling yourself. And I'm not saying like you're a salesman, but in a way you kind of are.
I think you definitely are.
And let's say, like, I always try to make known, like, even if I'm not looking to, you know, DJ at a spot or a place, but I enjoy the vibe, and I know, let's say I know the DJ or I don't know the DJ, I go present myself. I'm like, hey, I'm so and so. You know, you're killing it.
Yeah.
Amazing party. I'll ask for the manager. I'll give him my card. I'm like, man, this is unbelievable. Like, I'm from Tampa, but you're killing it right now, or this is great.
Yeah.
You know, because you never know, an opportunity will present itself, or he'll be like, oh man, we get guest DJs in here all the time. Let me get you booked.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever it be. But networking and not being afraid to
that was what I was going to say too. You have to do it.
Have the confidence. You know what I mean? Have the confidence to just say, I'm going to present myself. I'm going to meet these people. And that's what it is. And if you know what, like, almost like if you're gonna go talk to a girl for the first time, she's either gonna turn you down or she's gonna dig you.
Yeah.
There's no in between. You know what I mean? You go, you like the girl, you like the venue you're gonna play at, that you want to play at. You go present yourself. Hi, I'm so and so. They're gonna be like, oh, what's up, man, or throw you to the side, or they're gonna dig you.
Yeah, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it too.
And it's about just going and doing it. You know, a lot of people, a lot of guys are afraid to talk on the microphone or to speak. You know, I got DJs that I know that don't say anything all night, and not necessarily is that a bad thing, but you're an entertainer. You're not just a DJ. You're entertaining the night.
I used to hate getting on the mic, like hate it.
And now it feels
And
weird
all
if
my
you don't.
friends used to make fun of me when I would do it because I would be so I had no confidence on the mic whatsoever.
But now you feel good when you do.
But yeah, now
right?
I feel
you
like
almost have to.
Like you have to. And for corporate events, even like
Oh,
even if they
huge.
don't ask you to be a host,
Right.
like host the event. And whoever booked you will think even more highly of you because you took that initiative to take charge.
You're not just
and,
in there
and
playing
kind of run
music.
the show.
You're literally a host. You're an entertainer. You know.
Yeah.
I had to do Fan Fest, the Tampa Bay Rays Fan Fest this year. Fresh was in New Orleans for the Rock and Roll Marathon, so I had to take the reign and do it. And I had no clue up till the day before that I was hosting the whole event. You know, I thought I was just going DJing music, which is fine, but you know, you're talking about 20, 30,000 people going for Fan Fest, and you know, I got baseball players on stage. I'm doing games with them. I had a host a fashion show where I'm literally on the jumbotron, you know, and I'm sitting there reading script of what they're wearing, and you just have to say, you know what, I got to do this, and this is it. Don't be afraid. Yeah. Because you know what? You're going to mess up. And humans mess up. Yeah. You're going to say something that you're not supposed to and whatever, and it happens.
The more you do it, you're going to get better
Have that confidence, you know what I mean? Have that confidence to do it, because that, again, you're only building yourself. You're building your brand and what you want to do. Yeah. So. All
right. So we talked a little bit about Certified Fresh. I kind of wanted, I mean, you guys have your group down in Tampa, St. Pete. We have our Get Down group up here. I kind of want to know, like, what are some similarities? What are some differences? Yeah. So, like, let's talk about kind of how you guys deal with adding venues or dealing with your venues that you currently have down there, and how you deal with adding or losing venues.
All right. Well, I mean, you know, as far as like adding venues, you know, obviously we're always trying to grow, and like I said, it's not necessarily trying to get into every place, but picking the right places. Yeah. You know, and you know, there's some dope venues that you want to be a part of.
You can't have it all.
And in a way, they almost want you to be a part of them, you know, and it's just knowing which ones those are. You know, it gets to the point where you're so busy, you know, that you need the help, and that's why we have the groups and we expand, you know. And it's open arms, you know. It's not for everybody. Some DJs like to work by themselves. Yeah. Some DJs can't work with a team, you know. Some DJs need a team to help them, and that's great. You know, being able to grow that way is huge, because then you're learning the route of how to do that side of it. But it's a lot of work, you know, from scheduling, you know, to making sure guys are getting paid, to, you know, making sure the venues are paying the guys. You know, there's a lot of, you know, personalities is huge. Yeah. You know, everybody's different.
Yeah. That was like, how do you deal with all the personalities on the team?
It's not, I mean, it's easy, but it's not easy. You know,
you can't approach everybody the same way.
Everybody's different. Yeah. You know, and we've got guys where now they're no longer, you know, we're not booking them just because their personalities have gotten the best of them, or we've given them opportunities to correct things and they haven't, you know. It's everybody's different, and it's not for everybody, and that's okay. It's not necessarily that we're not going to be cool with you or friends with you, or he's on the do not
it just doesn't fit with what's happening with your brand.
Exactly.
And your team.
But you know,
team dynamic is really important. If there's one person that doesn't fit the team, like, you kind of feel it, right?
Oh, 100%. You know, and you know, obviously being on the top like DJ Fresh and me, or you know, Cream or Gary, dealing with that side of it, you know, some of the other guys don't see it. Yeah. You know, and they don't realize, you know, you're sitting there having to do the schedule every week, and you're sitting there collecting the payments and getting the guys paid. Yeah. And you're making sure they're getting paid what they need to, you know, or should be getting
that
paid.
Stuff, to me, is the hardest part about running this business. All the behind the scenes stuff. How do we communicate to our guys? How are we going to pay our guys? Right. What's the easiest way to, I don't know. Any of those things behind the scenes, to me, is the most difficult.
It's hard. And, you know, we had this conversation, me, you, Fresh, when you were back in Tampa, that, you know, the app that you're using now for the scheduling is helping you guys out a lot. And we don't do that. Yeah. We literally, I just got the text from Fresh today of everybody's schedule. Yeah. That's how he does it. You know, and it's hard to sit there and plug everybody in, make sure you got everything covered, you know, from doing a wedding to doing a corporate gig to doing a nightclub.
We used to do it that way.
Oh, man.
And, like, the transition was really hard. It wasn't really hard. It was just, it was time consuming.
Right.
because we had a way of doing things and it was flowing and it was working, and we changed it up. And we knew it was going to be for the better.
Right.
But
It takes a minute.
Getting over that hump of learning a new program and getting all the guys to buy in, that is a tough thing to do too. So like, I know we talked about a lot of our back end processes, and I think that's what's great about our relationship, besides being friends, but just being able to help each other in certain situations for all this back end stuff.
Yeah, you know, and like I said, there's a lot that goes into it, but if you have those key guys, you know, that are on your team, you could do anything.
Yeah.
You could do every gig if you want to, you know what I mean? And like I said, it's open arms. You should have open arms as well. Like if you feel like being a part of a DJ group is going to benefit you and you're going to be a benefit to the group, all means.
Yeah.
Show me what you got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's great because you're only expanding everybody. You're expanding yourself. You're expanding the group. You're expanding more opportunity to do other things.
The biggest question or the question that's asked to me most by other DJs that don't work with us or that I don't know is, how do we work with Get Down? So it's not a straight answer for me usually. I've kind of like figured it out of the certain things that we definitely look for initially, but do you guys have like a way of deciding who gets a shot?
The crazy thing is you become so busy, and I'm not making an excuse, but it's just reality, that week after week goes by, and it's almost like weeks go by like days.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Because you're running two businesses, not just one.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, unfortunately, even though we could use extra help, we're not out there looking for extra help.
Yeah, I agree.
Extra help should show up to us. If you want to be like I said, if you think being a part of a DJ group is going to benefit you and you have a benefit for the group, all means, network. Go out, meet the guys that are in that group that you want to go out, show them support. You know, come to their nightclub that they're playing at, show them love. Hey, I'm so and so, I'm new in town, or whatever it be. And we've gotten guys like that because the drive that they have shows, and then that's like the biggest tryout ever right there. You know what I mean? If you could get over that hurdle.
Yeah.
You know, I thought about, you know, me and Fresh thought about doing some tryouts where we could, you know, maybe get, you know, an open call where we get DJs to come in, you know, play music, maybe ask them some questions. But in the long run, that to me is not as powerful as you showing interest that you want this. You know what I mean? And then proving that you could do it.
And if I need it happening organically is better than forcing it.
Exactly. You know, if I need help with a gig, you being, oh, I'm there, man, I got you. I could go set up, or I could go do this. I'll play the first hour. And then getting that feedback, oh, man, he did a great job. That's all I need.
Sold,
You're
right?
good. You know
Helped
what I mean?
you out and got good feedback.
Exactly. So that's one of the key things. If you are looking to grow yourself as a brand and want to be a part of a group, I think that's the best way to go about it.
No, I think that's really, really good advice. I mean, I agree with you. Like, the organic way of meeting DJs and kind of,
and like I said, it's not for everybody. It's not like, you know, some people are good with by themselves, you know, or some people have another focus. They want to go and just travel or do this, or they're content playing at the same spot every week, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But if you got that drive and you want to grow and you want to do it with a group, go show that love.
Gary's going through this right now because, I mean, he just moved down to Orlando.
And we talked about it. I mean, Orlando's tough, you know.
You know, Gary's been reaching out to people, and he showed me some of the responses, and it's like, it's crazy to me what people say back to him.
Yeah.
Someone who's been established and has been really successful up here.
Orlando, I mean, and this goes as far as like all the cities, you know. You're always going to have more DJs in the city.
Yeah, in any city.
And competition. I mean, you're dealing with young guys that all they want to do is they'll DJ for free. They just want to prove to their friends that they're out in the club DJing for a busy night.
Yeah.
And partying. They don't care. They're not looking at the business side of it, you know, like we are. You know, that's stuff that you have to deal with. But in my experience, in my mindset, if you're doing things right as far as what you're doing, there's no reason why a venue should let go of you for a DJ that's coming in for free because he's bringing in 20 people.
Yeah.
Because your value is way more than what they have to offer no matter what.
All right, so I kind of want to close it out with, can you give advice to a DJ who is in nightlife that might want to get into the corporate side of things? What are 3 ways that they can, or 3 things they can do to kind of help them transition from being just a nightlife DJ to getting into, you know, high-end corporate stuff?
Well, the first advice I could give is definitely you have to have the urge to do it. You know what I mean? Don't do it for the wrong reasons. Don't do it because you see other guys going to the Super Bowl or playing for the big sports team in the city that you just want to get those props or the money or whatever.
Yeah, because you're not going to get there overnight anyway. So
you have to have the want to do it. You know, corporate side is way different than a nightclub stuff, and you have to be able to want to do that. So if you have that drive, then you go on to the next part, which is the networking. And going out, you know, maybe meeting some guys in your city that are already doing it. And that's hard because now, usually if you're established as a nightclub DJ and you're going to somebody that's doing everything or a little bit of everything or just doing the corporate side of stuff, there's always going to be that, who's this guy think he is?
Yeah.
Or he thinks he could do this, you know, or that mindset that they don't, maybe they don't even want to talk to you. You know what I mean? But again, that happens with everything.
Yeah.
There's always rivalry. There's always going to be competition. There's always going to be like, oh man, this guy is not, why should I give him opportunity? It's the drive. If you're able to maybe meet that one person out of the 10 that you've approached that will give you an opportunity, that opportunity then is in your hands to branch out and grow and do what you want with it. And that's how I see it. So that's a big advice. And then finally, just go out and rock it, man. You know, the one thing about corporate gigs is anybody could play a nightclub. You could download the top songs and rock out a nightclub for 40 minutes, an hour, and kill it. And they're like, oh, this is the best DJ in the world. But if you could go to a corporate gig and rock out a party for Visa and they're all corporate clients in there, and they're having a blast, and the people paying you are like, man, this guy, look at this. Everybody, the people that are giving me money all year that I'm throwing this party for are having a blast. This guy's a shit.
Remember that
this guy's a shit.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's all about opportunities and just grow on those opportunities. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and I think what's cool about doing corporate compared to some of the other mobile stuff is that you can still be your brand. You can still be DJ Dani. Yeah. I can still be DJ Cream, and I appreciate that because my brand is super important to me, and I know your brand is super important. They respect
it more, in a way, because they don't usually get that. Right. You know?
And I think also what you said about being able to rock a corporate event and then rocking nightlife, I think it goes hand in hand. If you can do corporate, you can then bring some things from the corporate world that works into nightlife.
Exactly.
And vice versa. And I think if you do both, it makes you a better DJ.
100%.
So
yeah,
I like the corporate side of things too, and there's money there too. So.
It's great money, and like I said, I don't mind it at all. I love it because, like I said, they enjoy it. Sometimes they enjoy it more than you playing in a nightclub and a girl coming up to you mad because you're playing something else other than Cardi B. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
There's gonna be somebody there every night like that, but
yeah.
But all right, man. DJ Dani, Certified Fresh DJs, man.
Shout out to everybody back home, Tampa, St. Petersburg, all my crew guys.
Always love having you up here, man.
Yeah, man.
You want to give out your social?
Sally Hill tonight, right?
What's your handles?
Social media, all my social is @the real DJ Dani, spelled DANI. So spell it that way. You'll find me on Instagram, Twitter, and all that. And then Certified Fresh DJ Group, it's @Certified Fresh DJs. So
shit, man. I'll take the plug too.
Yeah.
@DJ Cream NYC, @Get Down DJ Group. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Hope you enjoyed the episode.
Peace.